Being your authentic, true self in every environment from a space of being whole, happy, healthy, healed is in fact the pathway to your best life. Your best life comes as you show up in more rooms authentically as yourself, exposing people to the authentic version of you, which always evolving, always growing. I'm Shauna K. Henson, lifestyle design coach, goal strategist, and corporate culture consultant. Welcome to the UnCultured podcast, where we talk about the ins and outs of what it means to design a corporate culture that matters. No, to design a corporate culture that takes humans first. It's a human-centered approach to developing corporate culture. Now, why does that matter? It should matter to you because you are giving 80% of your life away to a place where you work, and that's fine unless they're not treating you well. So today I want to talk to you about the idea of authenticity, right? So I live via an authenticity scale. My life functions entirely and totally based on how authentic can I be in any given space, with any given people or person, with any given client or job, right? Or in my case, contract. Living your life by authenticity requires a lot of reflection. That's just something I know from coaching people, from coaching myself into my most authentic version. It's something that requires a lot of awareness and it in multiple ways and arenas, right? So in one hand, when we think about being able to show up authentically outside in the world, it's kind of easy. Most of us would say, I'm just who I am. And so I'm going to show up in the world however I am. Some of us have been through enough in life where that doesn't come as easy, where it's difficult to separate what you want, what you think you have to want, and what you really want from the narrative that's been given to you over the course of your life. And that narrative is familial, it's societal, it's professional, it's internal in your own mind, it's spiritual or religious, depending on kind of where you lay your head. And all of those things come together to enmesh to make you a version of you that might not be the authentic you. And let me just say this parenthetically here. Your habits are not your authenticity. So things that you have just kind of picked up over time and are doing just because you've always been doing them, or that's the way that things have always been done, does not mean that it's your most authentic self. Your most authentic self is the version of you that doesn't function based on those influences in your life. So it really boils down to three questions, and I love these three questions. So here they are. What do you want? What do you want? When you think about what you want for your life, what do you want? Answer that as honestly as humanly possible. The second question is, what do you think you have to want? And that comes from your influencers, right? Your familial influencers, your spiritual influencers, your societal influencers. Do you think that you have to be married with 2 kids and a puppy? Do you think that you have to have children? So when you say, oh, I think I want to have a husband or a wife or a partner and 2 kids and a puppy, okay, but now if we take that down to the second question, is that something you really want, or is that something you think you have to want because society validates that? Oh, I have to start a business. Do you want to start a business? Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. Do you really? Or do you really want a job where you get to just be more expressive and be more yourself? Which I find in a lot of cases is what is majorly true. So when you think about first, what do you want? Just on the face of it, when you think about it, what do you want? Second layer down, what do you think you have to want? Of those things, what are things that are kind of there just because you think they should be there or somebody told you they should be there? And then the third layer is, what do you really want? When it boils down to it, what is that big, audacious, ridiculous, almost daggone near impossible thing that you really want? The thing that you are almost scared to say out loud. What is that thing? I guarantee you that thing is more closely related to the stuff that you're supposed to have in your life than the other things are. A lot of times that first pass at what do I want is like an amalgamation of so many other influences and influential moments in your life that it's hard to know if it's truly tied to who you authentically are. So becoming your authentic self is an action and practice of mining. It's just mining over and over and over. It's iterating over and over and over until you find what fits and what sticks and what is real for you. That's out here in the world. Let's talk about how you show up authentically in the place where you work. All right, your managers and your like higher ups are like, for the most part, don't come in here authentically. Come in here as an employee. We don't need you to be authentic. We need you to be an employee and have skills and execute those skills for our big purpose, our big vision, our big mission. I come to challenge that, right? Your value inside your workplace has everything to do with you showing up authentically as who you are. Let me prove it to you. Your authentic self is required to innovate in a certain area. Your ideas that are in your head are very, very necessary for the world that you are living in right now today. We need those ideas. The company that you work for should know that they need those ideas. But if your authenticity and your authentic self is not embraced, then what's the likelihood that you're going to come with what might seem like an outlandish idea to your manager or to your higher ups? What's the likelihood that you're going to bring it to them? What is the likelihood that you're going to speak up in that meeting authentically as yourself if you already know that your authenticity is not invited into the space? Zero. Maybe not the first time, right? Maybe the first time it's 100% because you're like, I am authentically me out here in the world. I'm going to be authentically me everywhere. I love people like that. God bless you if it's you. But I'm authentically me. So I'm going to bring authentic me into this meeting. So I'm going to say what I want to say in this meeting. So let's put a couple of like qualifiers on this. Yes. Say the thing. Make the suggestion. Do the due diligence. Show up as yourself. From a place of being healed and sure, right? So it's very possible to translate authenticity as just being rebellious. And that's an overcorrection. When you finally have your moment of awakening and you're like, man, I really haven't been living as my authentic self. It's very possible to go too far the other way and be like, I'm going to be me no matter what. And that little bit of attitude right there, right? That little bit of attitude adds a slant to what would otherwise be a good thing. And so instead of it being received well, it's received as you being brazen and brash and all the things and all the stuff. It's also, more importantly, an indicator that you're not fully settled in who you are authentically. Because when you are fully settled in who you are authentically, you don't have to try to be it. And you don't have to defend it. Not in that same way. Have boundaries around how you maintain and stay authentically you, because that requires like upkeep. It's like your house, right? Like you get your house cleaned once or you clean your house once. It doesn't just stay clean. It gets dirty the next day, especially if you live with people or pets. Hello in here. Okay. So if you clean the house, which is getting to your most authentic self, it's not like it just stays that way. You have to engage in an upkeep to ensure that the authenticity that you have found does in fact remain. But that doesn't mean you have to defend it. Protect? Yes. Protect from the sense of, oh, I have these boundaries and I do these things to maintain my authenticity, right? Whether that's like, with the analogy of cleaning the house. Oh, I clean my house once a week, or I pick up something every day, or I change my sheets every 2 weeks. Those are boundaries, right? Protecting is that. That is how you protect the boundaries. Defending is don't walk up to my front door, or when you come in with shoes on, it's a very staunch and harsh kind of response to that. That's in the cleaning metaphor. In your authenticity, that looks like I'm going to be me no matter what. Doesn't matter what I say or how I say it and who that hurts or how people receive it. I'm just going to say what I got to say. That's different than I'm very clear about who I am and I have this to offer. See the difference? Protection is I have done the work to know who I am and I know who I am authentically and I know what I have to offer. And I am so certain about this authentic stance that I'm in, that I know that this is valuable and I really want to offer that here. That is not the same posture going into the moment. And in a lot of cases, it gets the same moniker, authenticity, authenticity. But authenticity is also a posture. The posture is, I am certain versus I am proving. I am defending versus I am certain. And I'm just going to show up as me. And that's it. And that is how I add value to the world. That's how I add value to my company. That is how I add value wherever I am, whatever room I'm in. I am focused on just being the best and most authentic version of myself so that my authenticity can meet up with other people's authenticity and we get to create something. That's focus on the bigger picture. That's the other difference here, right? Your authenticity gives you those boundaries. It gives you those things. And then you get to show up in the world and participate in humanity in a different kind of way versus trying to protect everything all the time. Versus trying to defend everything all the time. And now you are just trying to only be concerned about you. My authenticity, I'm going to show up. It doesn't matter how other people feel and receive the thing. So let me backtrack a little bit and really go forward at the same time. Your authenticity should 100% be welcomed inside of the company that you are going to work for. It also has to be cultivated. It also has to be kept up. You must do upkeep on your authenticity. Having your authenticity in tow at all times allows you to maximize your life from a big picture perspective, not just tomorrow, not just today. When you know who you are authentically, it's easier to see your vision more clearly. It's easier to cast your vision more clearly when you know who you are. So companies have a tough line to follow here, right? On the one hand, companies, if you are listening, every Fortune 500 company, you are missing the mark if you are not giving your employees a space to authentically be themselves. You're missing it. You're missing out on the best ideas. You're missing out on the best innovations. You're missing out by not creating a space for your employees to be authentically themselves. So, do what you want with this. Send it to your boss or not, but that is the truth. And simultaneously, employees, as you are choosing to give your value to places and spaces, cultivating your authenticity is the best way you can do that. Not just for them, but for yourself. Being your authentic, true self in every environment from a space of being whole, happy, healthy, healed, right, is in fact the pathway to your best life. Your best life comes as you show up in more rooms authentically as yourself. Your best life comes from exposing people to the authentic version of you, which always evolving, always growing. You'll hit one version of your authenticity, learn something new, hear something different, and then all of a sudden you're onto a new path, onto a new layer. It's an onion for you to kind of unpeel. So as you are showing up more authentically in your professional environment, be careful not to show up defensively and call that your authenticity. Be careful not to show up with your trauma on your sleeve and call that authenticity. And let's be clear, right? One of the reasons why I'm so passionate about corporate culture is because of corporate trauma. Raise your hand in the back if you've ever experienced any microaggressions. Or if you know anybody that has experienced corporate trauma. When I coached people in group coaching environments, that was like the number one thing that we had to work through. It's the trauma that comes from being overlooked, undervalued, talked down to, disrespected in places where you feel like you have no choice. It's abusive. By and large, corporate cultures right now are abusive because they ignore humanity. It's tough. It's a tough kind of scenario to be in because it's also still kind of the norm. Should it be? No. Nope. Are there companies that are doing it right? Yeah. Are they the minority? Yeah. Also, yeah. All that is true at once. So if you have experienced microaggressions or other versions of corporate trauma, you have your own set of work cut out for you to tap into your authenticity and allow that to be true inside and outside of work. One of the things that I find that is most challenging and really in opposition to authenticity is that defensiveness. Once you have had somebody tell you how unimportant you are in but so many words, you get defensive. You get defensive. And defensiveness and authenticity are not the same thing. They are not. So if you have experienced any of those things, microaggressions and other corporate traumas, I feel for you in a way that I cannot express. I know it's a barrier. I know it's tough. I know it's a hindrance for how you show up for yourself and your family. Again, a little emotional. I know that it's a hindrance for how you show up for yourself and your family and for the things that matter to you in the world. I know that it makes you feel inadequate and unable, and it makes you second guess your value and the validity of what you have to offer. It probably makes you second guess your calling in life. It's probably trying to make you think that you're entrepreneurial, whether you are or not. And you might find yourself right now in a posture where you feel like you have to start some business, and because you haven't, you are failing. It's so much that goes along with being made to feel small in some place that was meant to take care of you. There's a lot to be said for that. And I'm deeply saddened by that being the normal thing here in wherever you are. I'm deeply saddened by it because you deserve better. I don't even know you and you deserve better. Just by virtue of you being a human, you deserve better than to be treated optionally and having your life be intruded upon. Hours that are not real hours for you to work, assignments that are meant for 5 people and not 1, threat of job security, mass firings, all of those things, traumas that make you question your value in this world. I'm here to tell you, you are valuable and you deserve better. Full stop and period. So now it's about, with all of that going on, how do you stay so true to who you are authentically that the world has no choice but to honor who you are? And that doesn't mean stay at the company where you are and demand that they honor your authenticity. They might not be set up to do that. That corporate culture might not support honoring human authenticity, but there are some that do. And if part of your authenticity is that you know you've been hiding inside of a job when you were called to start something else, let this be your sign. It's time. It's time. That's not everybody. Please. Listen, one of my least favorite things is having conversations with people that their gifts are meant for a big vision that's already established. They're meant to support that big vision, to take it to the next level, which means they have to work inside of a company that already exists. Nothing pains me more than listening to that person be frustrated with having their ideas and their innovations suppressed, so they now feel pressure to go start a company. Not calling, not purpose, not authentically feeling, just like, I can't do what I feel like I really need to do here, so I'm going to go build a company. That's not always the same. Starting an entrepreneurial endeavor is a calling. It's something that will speak to you from the inside. And so if you're listening, and you know that thing has been calling to you from the inside, let this be your sign. It's time. It's time to do the thing, not just continue to plan for the thing. It's time to do the thing. You're being called up and out. Even now, right? And as you go forward to build the thing that you're feeling called to build the culture, build the structure, not of your experience. Build it of your dreams. Build the culture that you wish you had. Build the valuable and authenticity-driven, human-centered, perspective-having corporate culture that you wish you could have experienced from the time you started working in your early 20s or before. You deserve better. You deserve better, and so does everybody else that will come after you. And so did everybody else that came before you. Hey, thanks for tuning into the UnCultured podcast. I've been your host, Shauna K. Henson, lifestyle design coach, goal strategist, and corporate culture consultant. If this is your first time here, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with somebody you know. If you're coming back for more, thanks so much for being here, and I hope that you'll tune in again. No matter what you're doing in your life, remember to make intentional choices, and wherever you are starting, remember that's not where you have to finish. Your life is yours alone, and your next dream is only one goal strategy away from getting exactly what you desire.